Hello again. This is now tarot lesson number 103, and a couple of requests from viewers from before who wanted something about reversed cards. So this is what we're going to do today. And I think that the difficulty I think that people have with reversed cards is they want the card to give the answer. But I think what's really happening with reverse cards is you've got the card shows the situation, and it's up to you, the reader, to figure out what to do about it. But I think people look at the card upside down and stop at that point instead of thinking, okay, it's upside down, now what? And I've got an example. I've got 9 examples to show you, and I wrote down because in case I forget to say things, I've got big printed information like this that I'm going to work through as we get to the cards. But first, let's say you have to make an appointment. You're going to have your hair cut, or you're getting an oil change in your car, or maybe it's something like a medical situation and you need an appointment with a doctor. So you call up and you say, I need an appointment. And they say, the first free appointment we've got is 3 weeks from today. So that's not what you wanted. So what do? You can freak out and panic, and that's not the way to go. So what can you do? They can't take you immediately or within a couple of days. You can wait. So if you can't get the appointment, you need to be patient. That's one way of dealing with the situation. You can be patient. But maybe you say to them, what have I got here? Okay, if you get a cancellation, give me a call and I'll take it so that I can come earlier. So you can't get the appointment. One way of dealing with it is to wait. A second way of dealing with it is to figure out how inconvenient is it. So if you can't get a haircut for 3 weeks, some people don't mind. Other people get to the point where their hair really annoys them at a particular length. So for that individual, in that circumstance, having to wait 3 weeks for a haircut is really inconvenient, really annoying. Whereas for somebody else, the same situation, having to wait 3 weeks for a haircut, doesn't really matter that much. They just wait. So we might want to consider how inconvenient is the lack of appointment. And the third thing is, is there an alternative? Let's say you want to have your hair cut and they say, we can't do it for 3 weeks. You say, okay, I'll find somebody else. So sometimes with no appointment, there is an alternative. You can go somewhere else. If you can't get your oil changed at your regular place, you find somewhere else that will do it within a couple of days. So you don't really have a problem. It looks like a problem because you didn't get the appointment, but it's not really, because there is an alternative. And so I'm going to suggest that we look at reverse cards from these 3 points of view. So with a reverse card, do you wait and you just exercise patience? Do you figure out how inconvenient it's going to be? And if it's really inconvenient, then you've got to deal with it. But maybe it's not that bad. And the third thing is there an alternative? So I picked 3 questions to pick a card for. One is the future of a relationship. The second, what's the reasons for the past failure of a relationship? And the third one is about getting a promotion or something that will bring about an improvement in your life. So let's say the question is, tell me about my future relationship, right? That's the question. And the answer is death, right? But it's upside down. So if the question is, what's the future of my relationship, and you get death reversed, rather than panic, you don't do that. You think, okay, you look at the card. When the card is upright, it means there's a new beginning. When it's upside down, It means a new beginning is going to be denied, or it's going to be delayed, or it's not going to be the new beginning that you want or that you think it's going to be. So I wrote down a few in case I forget or in case I get stuck. So with death reversed, the relationship is not going to change. So an upside down card can mean no or not or don't. So that's what I meant earlier about how the card shows a situation and it's up to you to figure out what you're going to do about it. So with death reversed, it's not going to change. It's not going to happen. It's not going to turn out the way you want. It's not going to turn out the way you think it's going to turn out. So what do you do? And go back to the missed appointment or the delayed appointment. So maybe you say to the person, it's not going to work out the way you want, so you need to wait and see what develops. Because it's a major trump and it's change and transformation, you can find that over the next short period of time, what you think about the relationship or what you want from a relationship or the nature of the relationship is going to change. So wait for a bit and then see what you're dealing with later. So you wait. The second alternative is how inconvenient is the fact that the relationship isn't going to go well. There isn't going to be a change. Maybe you don't mind, because the question is, tell me about the future of the relationship. It's not going to change. For somebody, that's a real problem. But maybe for you, with the death card upside down, it's not that much of a problem, because you're not ready for a change anyway. You're not ready to make improvements or to look carefully or analytically at the person and what their habits are. You would rather sweep it all under the carpet for the time being and not have to deal with it. And so with death reversed, how inconvenient is it actually? And so what can you do to make it less inconvenient? And the third one was, is there an alternative? So maybe what you do is, what's the future of this relationship? Maybe you look, and some people, they put their partner on a pedestal and they worship them. And it's never going to last, because people will fall off. And you think it's them, but it's you, because you put them on the pedestal in the first place. So maybe what you do, if we've got here the idea an alternative, maybe what you do is with a relationship, depending on what stage of the relationship it is, maybe you look for a different person, or you look for, maybe you change the overall mixture of people, because some people, they've got a partner and but they're not that keen on the partner's friends, but they spend a lot of time in a group. So maybe what you do is develop new friends or find an alternative. So I'm thinking this is taking a lot longer than I thought. So I'll maybe just do 2 cards for each one. So what's the future of the relationship? I get the 9 of Swords, which is this one, and it's upside down. So what's the situation? And I wrote down, it's a slow period and you're on your own. So what's the future of the relationship? Not much is going to change. It's slow. You're on your own. You're maybe imagining the worst. And that's the future of the relationship. So what do you do about it? You can wait. And you can face your fears. Maybe you say to the person, depending on who it is and what you know and what they know, you face your fears. And the thing about facing your fears is it's never as bad as you think it's going to be. If you were ever 18, as you probably were at one point, and there was somebody you liked the look of and you wanted to ask them out, and you were nervous and you couldn't bring yourself to do it. Eventually you pluck up courage and call them, and they're okay about it or they're not okay about it. Either way, you discovered it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be, and that can be what you do with the 9 of Swords reversed. You face the fear. The second part was wait. it's inconvenient. How do you make this Nine of Swords less inconvenient? And I wrote down, find a happy place. So maybe what you do is, instead of focusing on the relationship that's going wrong and that you're all worried about, leave it behind for the time being and begin to think about things you enjoy or things that you're happy about, and that will change the future of the relationship. And the third point I got was share the problem. So is there an alternative to you worrying about the relationship or imagining it's going nowhere? Maybe you talk to a friend or you talk to a relative and you share the problem, and in sharing it you dilute it. Or what is it? A problem shared is a problem halved, they say. Okay, so that was that one. I was then going to do the Ace of Coins. Maybe I'll just keep going with the Ace of Coins here. So an ace is a new beginning, but it's upside down. So what do we get with the future of the relationship? There isn't going to be a new beginning, because there isn't going to be a new beginning if it's based on old values, because coins is money, but it also represents values and what you care about. And because the ace is upside down, maybe we're dealing with the fact that you want a change, but you want a different relationship or a better relationship, but you don't want to change anything. So you want things to be the way they always were, but you want them to be better, but you don't want change. And that's the problem with this Ace of Coins upside down. So what do? You wait. And because Ace is a new beginning, what you do is you give it a bit of time and you see what kind of new information or new thoughts you can gather, or what you can have, or the new thinking that can develop over time. Because at this point, you don't know what you want. You don't know what direction you're going in. Give it a bit of time, observe what happens, and then you'll be able to figure out actually what you want. And then you've got a chance of a new beginning. The second point was, what have I got? Through the hedge. Okay, so if you look at this picture, there's a hedge, I called it, and there's a doorway. There's an opening in the hedge, and it's upside down. So what do? Walk through the doorway and imagine a better situation, because it can be with the Ace of Swords, of the Ace of Coins upside down. You've got stuck and you're used to doing things a certain way. So what you do is, with an ace upside down, deliberately imagine what could be better. And that's going to help bring it about and change and allow you to have a better relationship. And the other thing is there an alternative? Maybe you connect with new people, or develop new friends, or take a class somewhere and meet different types of people, because that's the alternative idea that goes with this particular situation. I was going to do past relationship, but maybe I'll do a promotion. So only because of the time. So I'm taking these three cards off here. So the question is, let's say the question's about getting a promotion or some kind of situation that's going to improve your position. And let's say we get Judgment, right? But it's upside down, it's reversed. With Judgment, it's a new beginning, rebirth, renewal, but it's upside down. So the renewal, the promotion, is going to be delayed, or there's going to be a glitch, or it's not going to work out the way you think or the way you imagine. So what did I put down here? Judgment, not responding to the call. Okay, so here we've got, in the Judgment card, we've got an angel above who represents your higher self, your inner self, your moment of inspiration, or what would really excite you and what would get you motivated to perform. But it's upside down, so it's like, and I wrote down, you're not responding to the call. So there's more to the promotion or to the improvement than you're aware of or than you think. and you're not. It's bigger than you imagine, but you're not giving it a chance because it's bigger, but it's upside down. So wait. So what do you do with the promotion or the chance of improvement? You wait and see what possibilities appear, because there's an angel blowing a trumpet. But because it's upside down, you'll hear about new possibilities, but you tend to ignore them because the card is upside down. So you're not going to be in good shape to automatically respond if you get a new possibility. So watch out for that and pay attention to the ideas that come to you or the people that you meet. Is it excuse me. I wrote down inconvenient. So enjoy your current freedom. Because with judgment, the coffins are open and the people are free again. But it's upside down, as if you've actually got a lot going for you, but you're motivated to not want to see it or to not see it. So you're complaining about what you don't have instead of figuring out what you do have and enjoying all that you do have. And the third card was alternative. So what you do is, there's an angel blowing a trumpet, but so change the angel. Look to new people or new situations to inspire you, rather than depend on the old ones. Because it could be that you've learned all you can learn from the old inspirations, and it's time to find new people or new ideas or new motivation. And that's what you do. Or set new goals, because the judgment, the angel can be like, this is the direction to go in, but it's upside down. So figure out a new direction, a new goal. The second one, promotion or some kind of improvement, I got the Ten of Swords, which is this one. Ten of Swords, an end, ruin, upside down, it's worse. So what did I write? It's not going to work out as you wanted or you imagined. So the promotion or the idea for a new improvement or some kind of improvement isn't going to happen the way you want, because the card is upside down. And that's the meaning of the reverse card. But the next step is, what are you going to do about it? So if we think you can wait, but you're impatient for change because, put yourself in that position. You want an improvement, but it's upside down. The swords around you. You're impatient. You're not going to be able to wait. So maybe what you do is you learn to control yourself, because you can rush or you can try and make it happen, and you're wasting your time. It's not going to work out the way you want or the way you expect at the moment. How inconvenient is it? And so, because it's a sword, and a sword's a sharp instrument, I wrote down chopping and chopping, right? You chop a piece of wood. Chopping and changing isn't going to work. So first you relax and settle yourself down, and then you get a better chance of seeing what's possible and actually bringing about an improvement or bringing about a change for the better. Because at this point, with you represented by the Ten of Swords upside down, you can't see it. You're going to mess it up if you try to bring it about. So first you settle down, relax. And the third is an alternative. And I wrote down, at this point, you're probably too impatient or too upset to be able to imagine it. So rather than, it seems that the first point, the only point is relax and learn to settle down, rather than get sucked into a difficult situation. And the third card I got for a promotion was the Two of Batons. So the Two of Batons, a fellow on the high hill or the high tower, looking into the distance. He can see far, and he's got the word in his hand, but it's upside down. So what did I say? You can't see far ahead, but only later today. So if the Two of Batons had been upright, you're going for a promotion or you want an improvement, and with the Two of Batons upright, you can see how it's going to develop. You can see into the distance, see far into the future. It's upside down. You can only imagine this afternoon or today. You maybe can't even imagine tomorrow what it's going to be like. And that's what you're facing when it comes to a promotion or how to make things better. You can't see very far ahead. So what do? Point number one, wait. Pay attention to the ideas that come rather than ignore them and defeat yourself. Because it's the two of Batons, and we've got the person in control, ambitious, capable, but it's upside down. So you lack ambition, or you know what you want to do, but you immediately talk yourself out of it. Is a form of the two Batons upside down. And that's why I wrote down, if you ignore the ideas that you've got, or the possibilities that you can imagine, and ignore them or talk yourself out of it, all you're doing is defeating yourself. So be aware that you're going to tend to defeat yourself in the immediate future. So don't do that. Write it all down and then figure it out later, rather than think about it, be excited, and then immediately beat yourself up. So that was wait. The second point was inconvenient. So it's inconvenient. So what can you do about that? With the two of Batons, I can't remember what I wrote to you. Okay, think about and focus on what's already good. Because the two of Batons is a good card and shows success and respect and a high position, but it's upside down. So there's a lot of good goes with this card, but it's upside down, and you're focusing on what's wrong. Instead of doing that, focus on what's right, what's good, what's satisfying, what's got possibilities, and think about that. And then the last one is the alternative. What's the long-term idea? So because we're on a high tower or a high building and we can see into the distance and it's upside down, it's as if when you look into the distance, you don't like what you see. So focus on something different, or else figure out what you actually would like to be like or would like to be doing in the more distant future. So think it through and then figure out how to connect with it. So if you want to go and live in another country, maybe the first thing you do is learn the language of the new country that you're going to be wanting to visit. Or if you want to move to a new city, the first thing you do is look at what's available in the new city and where you would live and what different areas there are in the new city, and get to know it a bit, and figure out if you want to live in a residential area, or if you want to live in a busier place where there's maybe more to do at night. So that was, I don't know how long I've got on for. Think about that for reverse cards, and you won't be as afraid of them as you maybe are at the moment. So I gave you wait, how inconvenient, and is there an alternative? So maybe you would come up with different questions to ask or different things to think about, so you can take a reversed card that shows something not working out and see how you can make it better, or how you can make it work out for the individual as time goes by. Okay, see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.